Hey people, it's Miss Winter here. Now I know what you're thinking. Miss, we've just learned about tone. I'm super excited. I've got my 10 to 15 images. I'm ready to roll. Well, I got you, okay? So what are we doing today about tone? That's a really good question. We're going to use the same format as we have for line and color. So the very first thing we're going to do is what? Make a contact sheet. Exactly. So you are going to do what you've done for the previous two elements, and you're going to save your 10 to 15 images about tone in a little folder on your computer. And after you've done that, you're going to open Photoshop as we have been, and you're going to click, say it with me, File, Automate, everyone together, Contact Sheet. That's it, people. Love the enthusiasm. Thank you. And then once you've done that, you're going to save it as a JPEG and put it in your digital visual diary. Should we do that together right now? Perfect. I reckon that's a great idea too. All right, let's go to Photoshop. What am I doing again? File, Automate, Contact Sheet. Yes, love this. Okay, so File, Automate, Contact Sheet, and then I need to figure out where I saved my tone photos. Now that is something for Year 12 Studio Arts, so not for us today. And we're going to go tone. So I've got my 10 photos that I've taken around the beautiful grounds of Loyola College that you'll see in just a moment. And I am going to hit open and then okay. And as we've seen in the past, Photoshop's just going to do its thing and generate a contact sheet for me. So while that's happening, does anyone have anything that they would like to say about tone? Yes, it is very important in photography. Tone is beautiful. It is high contrasting. It's looking at shadows. It's looking at light sources. Oh, here we go. Now, admittedly, when I took these photos, it was an overcast day, so I was finding it slim pickings for tone. However, I managed to find a few things, so you'll notice a few different locations here. Once this is done, we are going to go File, and you might do Save As, but I'm going to go Export As, and we want to save it as a good old-fashioned JPEG. And we're going to save it back in the same folder that those images are in, just so everything's in the same place. Love this. Let's see if it worked, shall we? Tone, boom, contact sheets ready to roll. Love this. Okay, what we're going to do now, let's have a look at our little list. Okay, saved it as a JPEG, put it in your digital visual diary. Let's do that together. So this is my digital visual diary, and just like last time, I'm going to go insert picture from file. Oh, my voice is a bit croaky. And we're going to go to our folder, photographic elements, tone, contact sheet, boom, tick. We're good. I'm going to save this as I go because I want to make sure that none of my work gets deleted. Ooh, it's winter, getting a bit raspy. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is editing your chosen image. So we're going to right click on the image, open in Photoshop and do a few adjustments. So let's pick which image we're going to do today. So I'll show you what I took. You might remember this location of the school, the drink taps. We've also got another angle of the drink taps. We've got the back of Tool's Hub. I quite like these ones. These are at the front of the library. I quite like the different shapes. I like the little like shadows that are happening. We'll like that one. Then we have a tree, another tree, and then a slightly different angle of the same tree. I think the one I want to edit today, I reckon this one maybe. What do you reckon? Yeah. Okay, we're going to edit this one. So I'm going to right click, open with Photoshop. Boom, let's roll. So I'm going to move myself over here so we can see the adjustments. Now for the adjustments today, if you remember the PowerPoint presentation that we looked at, a lot of the images were black and white just to really show off the tone of the image. And I think that's what I want to do with this one, because when we turn this black and white, some of this tone here is going to become a lot more obvious and easier to read as tone. So that's what we want to do. And then we're going to pump up the contrast a bit. I don't think we're going to do too many edits with this one today because we want to maybe just really focus on tone. So I'm going to come to my adjustments and I'm going to click on hue saturation. And like the first time when we did line, we're going to just like turn it the whole way down. Now, if you want to do something slightly different to this, that's completely fine, but this is just a guide for you. Okay, so now that that's done, let's just turn that on and off. Love it, looking great. We really want to bring out the tone now. And I think the best way of doing that is to bump up the contrast. Now we're going to do it in a slightly different way than last time. So in the past, we usually do curves. There's this one here, which is brightness and contrast. And then there's also this exposure one. Today, we're just going to play around with brightness and contrast. So it's the one that looks like a little sun. This is really, really quite a simple way of playing around with contrast and adding tone and emphasis in this one. So I think this is a good one to learn anyway. So as you can see, you can either slide this up or down. I'm going to put it back to 0. And then the contrast, you can slide up or down, okay? So I'm going to turn them both down to 0, and we're just going to mess around with this and see what we think looks good. So I'm going to start by making the contrast a lot more significant. So as you can see, there's like no contrast, and there's quite a lot of contrast. And now let's just mess around with the brightness. I might even bring the brightness down a little bit so it looks really gritty. Ooh, I love it. Love this for us. Okay, I'm going to put that back in there. Let's have a look. So if we look back at our layers and we turn this off, that's the original image. And then this is when we've taken out the saturation and we've pumped up the brightness and contrast. Now, I think this actually looks good, and I think it's ready. What do you reckon? I think so too. All right, I'm going to save it. First of all, I'm just going to save it as a Photoshop file in case I get cold feet and I decide to change it up. I'm going to move myself over here again. And so now that that's done, oh, I didn't do screenshots. Oh my goodness, I got too excited. Okay, let's turn. So I know what you're thinking, Miss, what if I've done all this editing and I forgot to take screenshots? That's the beauty of the PowerPoint? No, of the Photoshop file. You can just turn these off. I do a screenshot here. Let's go, boom. And then I'm going to do a screenshot once it's edited like this. Boom, done. And I'm going to save it now as a JPEG. So file, you'll do save as. I'm going to do export as. And we're just going to save it back in that tone section. Is it saving? Here we go, people. Ooh, anticipation. What is happening? I hope it's saving. That's a bit weird. Let's go look at the folder. So is it there? It's not saved yet. But we've got our Photoshop version of it. So there's that one, right? Now let's click back on here. Something is happening. I didn't plan this. I don't know if you can tell, but I did not plan this, but we're just going to move ahead anyway and start putting stuff in our visual diary folio. So if we have a look at this, so we've done 2 screenshots, save the final image as a JPEG and insert your screenshot and your final into your digital visual diary. Okay, let's do that right now. That looks like it's still thinking, so we can come back to that. So we've got our contact sheet. Let's chuck out 2 screenshots in here. I'm going to go over there now. Insert picture from file, and we are going to get the screenshots. First one. Oh my gosh, look, I'm in the screenshot. This is happening live, people. Insert picture from file, and we'll go boom. Second one is there, and I'm there again. Wow, how exciting. What a fun time to be alive. Okay, so we've got this. Let's save it again. Let's check your Photoshop. Something is not right here, but that's okay because I'm going to just, maybe it's file save as in this one. If this works, no. So for this sake of the quick video that we're doing, I am just going to insert the Photoshop file, but you'll insert the JPEG. So here we are. Okay, your final image goes here. And then we're going to do our artist statement. So let's do this together. Picture from file. So we're going to go, oh my gosh, look at all my crazy files. This winter, you crazy. Tone, let's put in, let's see if this goes in. Yes. Okay, sick. There we go. So as usual, you got to add your artist name, a name of your artwork, the year it was made. So my artist name, Alexis Winterbottom. Name of artwork. Let's call this, I quite like these curvy shapes. Let's call this the Sea of Gravel. The year it was made, 2022, and what it means to the artist. Okay, so we're looking at tone, lights, darks. It's gravel, it's concrete. Maybe for me, so basically what I want to say from this artwork about tone, maybe I want to reflect that, okay, so when we're looking at tone and we looked at that PowerPoint about tone, it's all about highlights, contrast, different types of light sources, what it brings out in an image. So maybe this area is out the front of the library, right? And so when you're standing there, and if I'm on yard duty, there's so many different students that hang out around the library. Like it's not just one type of person. So maybe the tone in here is reflective of all the different types of people that hang out at the front of the library. Let's run with that. Okay. As I stand on yard duty, I can't spell, oh my goodness, at the front of the eye center. I am blown away with the different array of students who inhabit the space, just like the differences that tone can bring out in an image. This space brings out many different things in each individual. Yeah, I love this. What else do we want to say? The tone in this image is a visual representation of the many different facets of each student and the different sides of themselves that can be brought to light. Done. Love it. Okay, so that's what we've got for our artist statement, and there is our final image. If you have any questions, I will be sitting in the room with you right now and you can ask me, but otherwise I'm very excited to see what you make for this. Have a lovely day. Hopefully you have something tasty for lunch and or recess, potentially dinner too, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, bye.